Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Southern Virginia University Lacrosse. Today's matchup, we have your Southern Virginia University Knights taking on the Pacers of William Peace University. I'm Ryan Larson. Joined me always is Mark Duffin, and we're looking forward to a nice, evenly matched game.
Yeah, both teams. SVU is 5-7 on the season. They're 4-1 in conference play, and William Peace is 5-5 on the season. But they have suffered in conference play, being going 1-3. So it should be a very interesting matchup. William Peace tends to lean to be the better team overall, but SVU has been way better in conference play than they usually are in other games.
Right, absolutely. And I last year, Knights beating the Pacers pretty handily. This year, having the down year that the Knights have, kind of experienced, they're a little more evenly matched. So I'm excited to see some good lacrosse here. And I believe today we have a lot of our alumni here. Players that have been through the program over the past couple years, and myself being one of those guys, excited to see where the direction of this program and how things have kind of come for the Knights over the years.
Absolutely, and it's definitely been an improvement for the season so far. In their last 8 games, SVU is 6 of 8. They did come off an unfortunate loss last week against Pfeiffer University, where they did pretty much everything you could want them to do. They were pretty even in the turnover battle, pretty even in the shot battle, all that stuff. But they simply just shot worse. 9 of 50 versus 11 of 50 against Pfeiffer. So it really has been a close battle. Any loss so far in the past 10 games has been a very close battle, and they've gotten some pretty good wins under their belt. They just need to continue going at this pace in order to make the playoffs with the rough start that they had.
Yeah, absolutely. And so pretty much just saying that this game is a must-win game. So been excited to see. We got a beautiful day up here, a little bit of clouds here in Buena Vista, 70 degrees, and perfect spring lacrosse weather.
Yeah, and like you said, this is a very important game. Both teams are very close to 500, and both teams only have 4 games left in the season with 3 conference games left, including this one. So it is very important for both teams to get a win here if they want to fight for their playoff lives.
Absolutely. Looking like Landon Royland's sophomore goalkeeper starting in cage today over Caleb Brody.
Yeah, it's a very interesting decision to go with your team. You're looking forward to the future. You're kind of thinking, okay, we might make the playoffs this year, but we're probably not going to go far even if we do. So they're definitely starting to look at their younger players and try and getting them more playing time and see who they can build off of for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Start developing the young guys. As we are about to be underway here with Arnold taking our first face-off.
And this is where SVU really has the opportunity to be better in the game.
Arnold
the
gets a quick win and quick into transition, and Noor gets the goal there off of the quick pass from Sullivan. And the Knights on the board early.
Just 5 seconds into the game. Yeah. I was wanting to go off a tangent there about how good Jaden Arnold's been so far in faceoffs this year and has really given SVU an edge, and then he just completely blows up my sentence by getting a goal, getting a quick offensive set right there.
That's right. And Noor missing a lot of time this year due to injury. I know it's good to have him back as Arnold wins another faceoff.
Actually looks like they have Colton Stanley in there for the faceoffs, number 15.
Oh, that was? Yeah. My mistake.
So great start for him, 2 straight faceoff wins.
So the Knights set up their offense. And we're going to get a dodge from Peyton Merwin up top, and he's going to roll inside as he moves it along. Over to Connor Hackey, who's going to test the defense. Not a whole lot there. And Gabe King's going to get his hands free up top and throws it back, but Aaron pass, Merwin unable to handle it. And that'll be a turnover as the Pacers try to clear, but the Knights able to disrupt that and hold on to the ball. As King moves down to the alley, and he shoots and scores unassisted. Knights press in transition aggressively this so far this first quarter.
Yeah.
Taking the early 2-0 lead.
Yeah, getting out to run has obviously just right off the bat been very successful for them. These teams so far this season, in terms of turnovers, haven't been all that particularly different. SVU's obviously played a lot of games, but they've been pretty even in the turnover battles in terms of each team's opponents. They've been pretty even. SVU gives up a lot of turnovers, but takes a lot of turnovers. William Peace gives up less turnovers, but also forces less turnovers. So they've been pretty even so far in that battle.
Yeah, we get a face-off violation, so that'll give the Knights the ball. And an interesting move from the Southern Virginia coaching staff, moving some players around. We have Sterling Thatcher up at midfield, and Connor Hackey up at midfield. Really trying to fit guys into the right position. And sometimes, you struggle as an attackman and you move to midfield and you tear it up there. So be interesting to see how this midfield line gets involved.
Absolutely.
As Thatcher dodges strong down the alley. And he moves it to Knorr, and he's wide open. And he re-dodges, able to get his hands free, and he's going to shoot, and he scores. That'll be Knorr's second of the game. Off of the re-dodge.
And just right there is exactly what you're saying about getting the midfield involved. SVU has been very successful so far this season when they've gotten everyone involved, not just relied on one person to carry the score and get some good dodges, but when they're passing it around, getting it to open Eric Knorr right there, that's when they've been at their best. And so you were absolutely right, getting their midfielders involved.
Yeah, we get another face-off that Arnold wins handily backside. Met with pressure, though. And he's able to move that along to Merwin. And we're going to get another look at that midfield unit, but Merwin breaks free, and he shoots, and a save made by goalkeep number 1, Daniel Ando, a sophomore for the Pacers, as they look to clear to maybe set up their first offensive possession of the game.
And that was a great play by Daniel Ando to stop the bleeding right there and get the ball back into possession of the Pacers.
5 seconds left to get the ball over the midfield. 2. And they do it, but a low pass, and that'll be scooped up by the Knights and carried down by number 21, JT Kircher, who's been an absolute monster in transition this year. And a shot from Sullivan's going to sail just over the crossbar. And we'll see another possession from the Knights.
And we definitely haven't seen this pace in SVU's worst games. This is the form they look at when they've gone on the 5 of 6 win streak that they were talking about during that 6 of 8 stretch. That's what we've been seeing is this fast-paced, quick turnover-focused, fast break-focused offense. Is that this is what we've been seeing when the SVU Knights have been at their best.
Exactly, and and it always confused me, early on in the season, not seeing the transition being pushed. Being a former player for Jason Lamb, he has always been for early offense, and you really can see how it pays off when you can start to bury some early on in a possession. Really disheartening to a defense.
Absolutely.
And Norsey driving it down the side. So he moves it to Sullivan. Sullivan finding King up top.
And I think a big part of that was a change in the roster due to graduation. And so
as you're talking, King able to get a goal, and the Knights extend their lead to 4.
These SVU Knights do not want me to do not like my color commentary.
Yeah,
apparently,
they don't want you talking right now. But no, exactly what you're saying. They don't have the star power that they've had since really Jason Lamb has taken over this program. Starting out with, you had Casey Rich, the transfer from Syracuse, and then, leading to his son, Sean Lamb, who kind of carried the team until last year. And, really no one has, been that next star. And so I think you're relying less on individual skill and more on team basis, which, in my opinion is more important, as Arnold wins another face-off.
Absolutely. And we've seen that in the offense and the defense.
And we're going to get another feed inside, and Sullivan, or Norsey just missing wide, excuse me. Good feed, good look.
It really is every time I try to talk. There's just a quick pass inside to get a quick shot.
You just got to keep talking.
But yeah, it's like you've really seen that in the offense. It's like you've seen Connor Hackey, Eric Knorr, JT Couture, Gabe King, Sterling Thatcher. You've had several players have big games or had they've all had games where they've been like 1 goal each and they've had good team efforts. So they've mainly been focusing on that defense as a team aspect, and then the offense they've been at their best when you get several people involved and there's no one star, which is why I think they started out slow, is because obviously as a coach you have one way you coach, and then all of a sudden you have new personnel that doesn't quite fit that way of coaching. So there's definitely a lot of things with this Knights team that have changed, and they've grown acclimated to it and gotten better as the season's gone on.
Absolutely. As Thatcher goes to work at the side, and he moves it along. Over to Sullivan and Hackey setting up the little 2-man game here. And he gets the switch and stumbles a little bit. He had Hackey for a minute, but unable to find him. And Thatcher, off of the fancy roll dodge, able to bury that one. Knights hot early in this first quarter.
And starting 5 of 8 for your shots is very impressive, especially for this Knights team that has often struggled, only shooting 25% so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very impressive.
Interesting to see the adjustment that the Pacers make. You know, they've had a couple stops, just unable to get it over the midfield line to clear. Yet to see a offensive possession for the Pacers as we get another face-off. And this one a little bit more of a scrap. Arnold's still able to come with it, and he's got space. And he's going to move it on. A good feed inside to Knorr, and Knorr shoots, but a fantastic save by Ando.
And that's where you need to start if you're the Pacers. You need to start with those face-offs. It's been really killing them that it's just been make it, take it for the Knights.
Yeah, literally make it, take it. Arnold really feeling it today. You know, having a lot of these alum here, maybe making these boys play a little harder. A lot of these guys out here paved the way for these young gentlemen to be, playing in the conference that they're playing and at the level that they're playing at. As another save from Ando is going to set up a clear. Let's see if the Pacers can get it over the midfield this time. A little more, 10 seconds to clear it. And a risky pass intercepted by number 14, Wyatt Garrett, the long stick midi. And he's able to cause another turnover on that ride. Pacers having absolutely no answer for the Knights scheme today. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a timeout here. As we get a look at the second midfield unit for the Knights.
Yeah, and as we were talking about earlier, how these teams are very evenly matched, is that often with even matchups, they don't stay even. Something gives.
A shot just wide.
So normally something gives in even matchups. Like there's always something. It's like, okay, these two teams are evenly matched. Something has to give. One team has to be better in this one aspect at some point. And the Knights just have been better in every aspect so far in this first going of the game.
And over to Merwin. Merwin's going to get a step, and he shoots, and the ball doesn't make it to the goal. And aggressive ride play from the Knights, and they hold on to the ball. That will not reset the shot clock, though. Only 18 seconds left to work. Probably time for one more good look here as Merwin takes it down the alley, and he's going to shoot. Hits Ando right in the face. And the Pacers try to clear yet again, and they finally get it over midfield. And they shoot on the empty net, just missing wide. And another opportunity, and they're finally able to bury one off of the miscommunication and the disrupted ride. The one risk you have with the 10-man ride is you pull the goalie out of the cage, and two good opportunities from the Pacers, and one finally getting them on the board.
Absolutely, and the real big issue with that was you had two defenders right there run into each other for the Knights, which just completely took them out of the play, leaving obviously with the goalie off the net wide open.
So we get a timeout here.
Yep, and you were right. A quick timeout right there from William Peace.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments they make. They got to figure out that clear because your defense has made some stops and your goalie has made some good saves, and if you can't get it over the midfield line and get it the ball to your offense, you're just playing defense after defense possessions, and that's too much. And both teams don't have extremely large rosters, and lacrosse is a very, very endurance-ridden sport, so you don't want to tire your D out too early.
Absolutely.
So, interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see the adjustments they make.
Yeah, and it is a very good opportunity for a timeout because you get down real quick 5-0, but before you use the timeout, you do manage to get a quick goal off of a miscommunication of the Knights. You take advantage of what you were given, so you're going into the timeout with a little bit of momentum while also being able to restructure how your defense and offense plays.
Yeah.
So it's a very good opportunity for the William Peace Pacers to actually get something going here.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting with the face-offs, maybe figuring out a strategy to keep Arnold under control, and we'll see. We still have a lot of game left, so I'm excited to watch.
The funny thing about lacrosse is that sometimes you'll have one game where it'll drag on for 4 minutes and it'll feel like an eternity, and then the other 56 minutes of the game just flies by.
Yeah.
It's wild how lacrosse works.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game. Lacrosse is a game of runs. Knights obviously starting with their run early, and Pacers putting an end to that with Italian transition goal midway through this first period. As Arnold smokes the next face-off, and he gets a look, and he's going to take a shot, bouncing that well over. Yeah, you don't pay the face-off guy to score goals, but he's taking an opportunity, and Knights able to get their offense set up.
That had to be one of the best moments I've ever had watching SVU lacrosse, though. That it was 2 or 3 weeks ago where Jaden Arnold just absolutely smoked the face-off like that one and just put it beautifully into the net. A little bit less beautiful right there, but he keeps his team. He does his job of keeping his team in possession.
That's right. Knights set up their offense. Ball with Davis Grant, and he's going to get checked away. Excellent play by the Pacers there. And he's looking for a dangerous pass through the mid-center of the field and almost turned it over, but Pacers able to get a clear and set their, they'll be able to set their offense up here. And another risky pass. Strong dodge from the Pacers. And they're going to be met with the double team, falling down, able to move the ball along. So we finally get a look at the 6v6 offense of the Pacers. First time this game so far. Not a whole lot open there. With 15 seconds left in the shot clock, maybe time for one more opportunity here.
And, I mean, this has been the pride and joy of the Knights is their great defense so far this season.
Yeah, their team defense, talking with some of the alums, probably one of the best they've ever had. With 2 seconds left, and that'll do it for the shot clock. Knights with the strong stop there.
That's what you want to see if you're Jason Lamb is your team doing very well on offense, doing very well in transition defense, and then all of a sudden they have the opportunity on defense and they completely shut them down.
And an errant pass for the Knights nearly causes a turnover there, but Royland's able to pick up the loose ball and move it along. And I think what we're starting to see is a little more, you know, a lot different setup from what we've seen all season. Offensive, on the offensive side of the ball, you know, a lot more, you know, we're starting to see a lot more off-paced, not so much set plays, just, you know, Coach Lamb saying, hey, go out there, get sweaty and have fun and, you know, create some opportunities. And I think it's working for them.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the field right now and how spaced out it is. There's the Pacers are very spread out in their defense. They're not all congested right near the goal, which is very good if you're the Knights. You have lots of opportunities for one-on-ones, but also you can get some good passes in there and have a lot of opportunity to move.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Hackey looking to work here against the long stick. And he gets a step, and he shoots and a save by Ando yet again. Starting to piece together a pretty solid first quarter. Off to a slow start, but starting to read the ball a lot better. And a strong ride from the Knights. Causing the Knights to get the matchup they want, and the ball on the ground yet again, and Norr seems to miss the ground ball, and a missed opportunity there for the Knights. And the Pacers unable to clear the ball within 20 seconds, so the Knights will get the ball with a fresh shot clock. Strong riding there.
Yeah, you have seen the Knights defense have the one slip up on the transition defense, but otherwise it has been near perfection on the transition defense and the setup defense 6v6.
Yep, as Merwin gets a step, and another great save from Ando. Him really getting going. And he had the outlet open and just missed him. And Millington able to keep the ball with the Knights.
Yeah, so far we've seen two big adjustments that William Peace really needs to make if they want to continue getting back into this game, is the face-offs and the ball protection.
Yes. Thatcher met with a lot of aggression there. And before turning the ball over, smart timeout by Coach Jason Lamb.
But yeah, this is as Jason Lamb, you definitely needed to take that timeout, but you definitely didn't want to give the opportunity for William Peace to talk it over, considering how much more aggressive their defense has been since that 5-0 start. It's been very shut down for the Knights, that they haven't been able to get anything going on offense.
Yeah, since the Pacers got that goal halfway through the period, you know, the Knights really haven't been able to get anything going, and we've had outstanding goalie play from Daniel Ando, the sophomore goalkeeper from Wilmington, North Carolina. And that's like I said, lacrosse is a game of runs, and you finally, as a goalkeeper, finally get your rhythm and, you know, start feeling it, and, you know, maybe start seeing more opportunities for your team. And, you know, the Pacer offense, you know, haven't had a whole lot of looks, and so they're a little restless trying to get going. But, you know, once they settle down, I'm expecting the Pacers probably to go on a run here. So we'll see what Greg Gowdy, the defensive coordinator for the Knights, draws up.
Absolutely, and it's so interesting about goalkeepers because they can be the ultimate trump card in any game.
Absolutely.
They can be your ultimate demise. And we've seen this sometimes with Caleb Brody, who's been rather on and off, who's been the main starter so far this season, is that when he's having his great games, SVU only allows like 8 points. But when he's off, the SVU defense can have a perfect defense for 80 seconds and have the shot clock down to 3, and the opposing team has to take a tough shot and they put it in because the goalkeeper's off. And that's what you see is that, like, at that beginning part, Daniel Ando was a little bit off. He's just a little bit off his rhythm, allowed 5 goals right off the bat. He got in rhythm, got 1 save, and now he's had, I believe, 5 straight saves on their shots. So he's been very, it's that key of, like, the goalkeeper is the ultimate trump card in lacrosse.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's the reason right now it's not 8, 9, 10 to 1 right now. And a dropped pass messes up the rhythm of the Knights offense as King picks it up and moves the ball over to Hackey. with a little two-man game there, and they find King, and King's able to beat the goalie stick side high, beats Ando. Finally, after a series of shots, King's able to sting that one just off the stick side hip.
And that's been an interesting thing we've seen, is that there have been 2 shots from midfield going in. You don't normally see that with offenses in lacrosse. They're looking to get it inside, get as close as possible, get as good shots as possible. But SVU really taking advantage of the long shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Step downs are huge. And, you know, we always call, if you look at, you know, especially when you're playing on a football field, it's easier to see. You see the 20-yard line and the hash. That's what we call the sweet spot. And King able to, you know, able to bury one just outside of that sweet spot there as he calls for the ball, and that's tipped away. And good ground ball play from the Pacers as they are able to set up their clear here.
Yeah, it was a good face-off win, but it's not much if you turn over the ball pretty much immediately.
In an offsides whistle, it's going to give the Knights ball with possession. And Norris is able to tally the hat trick before the end of the first quarter. Costly mistake there from the Pacers going offsides, gives the ball right back. And Eric Knorr taking advantage of the quick whistle. And he buries that one.
Yeah, that is one of the big parts of lacrosse that often that goes unlooked, is the quick reactions you have to have when mistakes are made. Obviously, mistakes are never good, but if you can recover well, SVU gets penalized a lot and goes man down a lot, but they recover very well from those. They don't allow a very high percentage when they're man down. But it's stuff like that when you have quick issues like that create problems in transition.
As the Pacers get an opportunity here, and Roylands sees that one all the way. It's probably, other than their scoring opportunity there, that was the best opportunity that the Pacers have had so far this game.
And it was also off a face-off win, so very important for the Pacers right there.
Looks like Nor was a little shaken up on that play as he's off the field, and that's something you don't want to see. As the Pacers look to go to work with about 15 seconds left in this game, and let's see if they hold for one more shot opportunity here. 6 seconds and we get a feed up top. And the Pacers feed it inside and unable to hold on to it. And that'll do it for this first quarter as your Southern Virginia University Knights lead 7-1.
Yeah, it was a very dominating performance on the defensive end right there, only allowing, I believe, 3 shots in total for the Pacers. Just very, very dominant, forcing a lot of turnovers, so on and so forth. They were very dominant on the defensive side. On the offensive side, they got enough done. They had good transition opportunities. They got easy shots, and they had those 2 good shots from the midfield that were really good for the Knights as well. So just a very dominant performance defensively, which is giving the offense every opportunity they could possibly need there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the Knights playing early, you know, really focusing on that early offense. And, you know, that's the difference of this game. And, you know, the Knights are making the Pacers pay for their mistakes. And you know, we'll see if they continue to do so. I mean, we did see Nor get a little shaken up on that last goal, favoring his right leg a little bit. So see if that's, you know, that'll be an impact for the rest of this game. We'll see.
Absolutely. And another big key is we've had 9 face-offs. So we had 9 face-offs so far in that period. SVU won 8 of them. Yeah, that is a huge key right there. But obviously we saw it. The last face-off of the period was won by the Pacers. If they keep that up, they can do it. So if they keep that up, then they'll definitely be able to, they'll give themselves more opportunities to get back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Arnold really feeling it today, and you know, maybe taking advantage of a weaker guy. It's a great confidence booster. And, you know, as you said, we're approaching the end of the season and starting into conference tournament play where, you know, last week they lost to Pfeiffer, you know, who has been the top of this, you know, this conference until the Knights joined them last year and won the conference. You know, if they're looking to repeat Arnold and the goalkeep are going to be the key.
Absolutely.
And, you want him boosting his confidence, maybe getting some practice. And, you can see him out there strategizing with his long stick on where he wants him to be. And, that's what you want to see as you're moving closer to conference tournament play, which will be the only opportunity that the Knights will have to make the NCAA tournament come May. As Arnold wins that one pretty easily, and he moves it back to Couturier.
Yeah, speaking on Pfeiffer, they held their own against Pfeiffer last week, too. It's not like they got destroyed by Pfeiffer. They simply got a little bit outshot. They held Pfeiffer to 22%, which is a great percentage to hold an opponent to. But just because they shot that little worse, that much worse, they lost the game. So it's like SVU does have the capabilities to stand with pretty much any opponent. They just need to make it to the playoffs after the slow start has pretty much hindered them so far.
Absolutely. As the Knights set up their offense here for the first time of this second quarter. And we see Noor back out there, which is a good sign for the Knights. As he moves it along to Merwin. And Merwin's going to take a shot, and that's just going to sail wide. Sullivan with the backup.
Yeah, like, to show just how great this defense has been for SVU, the last time they allowed more than 11 points was all the way back in March 11th when they allowed 17 to Grove City.
Yeah, and we're going to get a good check there from the Pacers. It's going to put the ball on the ground. We're going to get a shot across field from the long stick, and he's unable to bury it. And the Pacers will get the backup, and we'll get another look at their offense here. And he's got a step, and he's going to shoot, but Royland saw that one all the way. Royland's playing almost perfect. And a great check there from Michael Brown, the former long stick midfielder. Able to cause the turnover there. Maybe giving Roylands a little break there. As Brown goes over midfield, and he has been a weapon in transition in the past.
Yeah, that was an impressive save by Roylands right there. Just you had the attacker right on the goal, and he just still managed to block it.
Yeah, absolutely. And something you want to see for if I'm Coach Lamb, that's what I like to see is my sophomore goalie really playing big in there. And last week he had the highlight, or no, excuse me, 2 weeks ago had the highlight winning the highlight save where he literally flew out of nowhere. And the shot's going to be checked just over the crossbar. And the Knights will hold on to the ball as Sullivan picks it up with 30 seconds left of the shot clock. Oh, never mind. We're going to get a flag, too. We're going to get a flag. Maybe it'll be interesting to see what was called. I didn't see anything. And we're going to get the first look of the first penalty of the game. Looks like it's going to be on Sullivan. Maybe said something to the ref. And they're locking him in for 1 minute. Yeah, he unsportsmanlike conduct from Sullivan. Maybe a little frustration that he got beat out on the. They called that a turnover. Sullivan probably thought it was a shot. The refs called it a pass, and he probably was a little frustrated there. And that's gonna give the Pacers a man-up opportunity with 1 minute, and the goal will not release the penalty. So a huge opportunity here for the Pacers to maybe tally a couple to get back in this ball game.
Absolutely. And you really can't be doing that when you're up 7-1. It can't be that stressful there in the game. Your emotions can't be that high when you're leading by that much. You need to stay calm and just enjoy the game.
Oh, and a huge stop there from Brown as he struggles to pick it up. Almost had an opportunity there, and looks like the Knights are gonna get called with a loose ball trip, and yep, ball's gonna go right back to the Pacers. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, being a former player, being in that exact situation. Maybe saying some things, that I shouldn't have said myself. Definitely hard. I feel for Sullivan, but yeah, again, you're leading. You're trying to put this game away before the half, and yeah, it's something you can't do. Costly mistake. The Knights penalty kill, real strong and a fancy behind the back pass. Dangerous. Gives the ball to the Pacers with a wide open guy up top, and he's going to shoot, and the bounce shot just beats Roylance. Great play there from the Pacers, able to tally another one on the extra man opportunity. And
that was great defense off the poor pass right there. They forced the Knight into the bad situation where he had to pass it over his back to his teammate. Obviously, the ball didn't quite get there accurately, and the ball ended up on the ground. Great passing. That's what you want to see right off a turnover is great passing to the open person.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a huge face-off for Arnold here. If he's able to win this one, then Knights have the opportunity to then hold on to the ball and kill the rest of this penalty, which he does so. Now, if I'm the Pacers right now, I'm pressing every attackman, and I'm going to double team Arnold, as he's able to move that on to Sullivan. And that'll do it for the penalty. The Knights with a successful PK there. Only allowing the Pacers to tally one on that locked-in penalty. As Merwin goes to work up top. And he moves it along to Hackey, who's now moved to attackman from midfield. And Grant with the shot just wide.
That's the thing with the Knights so far in this game. They've gotten their opportunities. They have 20 shots so far already. So they've just done everything you want on the offensive end right there.
As Hackey gets a step, causes the slide, and he moves it along to Merwin. Or Sullivan, excuse me. Sullivan taking another shot. That one well off its mark.
It looks like we have a penalty on the Pacers.
Yeah, that'll be on the long stick, number 26, Thomas Newhall. And they're gonna call a delay a game there. Probably hit the ball away from the Knights when they were picking it up. That'll be just a 30-second technical, and probably just giving the Knights one opportunity here as we get the first look at their extra man unit, who's been pretty successful this year so far, as we get a little wheel route. Grant open on the backside, and we get a skip pass. Oh, to Sullivan. He can't believe that he missed that. He had the wide open shot there.
Yeah, sometimes just overthinking it right there. You have that great opportunity, and it's just like you get a little bit too far ahead of yourself.
Yeah, he can't. He'd love to have that one back, as he almost gets another one, and that one's tipped away. Ando able to pick it up as he moves it along to the midfield. And the Pacers setting it up maybe a little transition opportunity here. And unable to do anything with it. Strong penalty kill there from the Pacers. As we go back to even strength. We're going to get a bomber dodge from the box. Not a whole lot of opportunity there. And we're getting a low angle shot just wide. Don't think Royland's got a piece of that one, so it will not reset the shot clock. As As we're tripped down, Millington able to cause the turnover there. Ball still loose. Picked up from the Pacers. And a behind the back pass, but we're going to get a whistle. Maybe a timeout. Yep, a timeout call from the Pacers.
Man, that was a crazy sequence right there.
Yeah, a lot going on there. Pacers really picking it up.
Absolutely.
After they had a slow start, but you're starting to see a little more aggressiveness on the offense, and Ando's, in my opinion, is playing great right now.
Yeah, and Ando's really sparked this whole ferocity from the Pacers.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting to see what the head coach of the Mark Crisco dials up here for this Pacer offense, and see what defensive coordinator Greg Gowdy comes up with to rally his team to kind of stop the momentum. I feel like the momentum's starting to shift towards the Pacers' favor.
Absolutely.
Maybe kind of end that momentum.
Well, if I were Greg Dowdy, I would just tell him, calm down. You're up by 5. You have given your offense these opportunities. Like you are not the issue that is giving the momentum back. So I would just tell him, stay focused in, keep doing what you're doing. Don't get caught up in the flow of the game. Just keep doing what you're doing. You know what your game plan is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because sometimes the best adjustment is no adjustment at all.
That's right.
Just a refocus.
That's right. And Royland's really filling the spot as a starter. Bright point for this night's team. It's not no soft thing when you get a highlight featured on the Lacrosse Network. As the Pacers start working their offense here, and a low pass, but handled well by the Pacers. We're seeing a lot of dodging here, but not a whole lot of room to go. And it looked like an interference call. It's going to give the ball back to the Knights.
Shot clock violation.
Oh, it was the shot clock. Wasn't even paying attention. I never played with the shot clock, so the shot clock's weird to me. I wish I had it, but. And a turnover errant pass from the Knights, but tipped away from the Pacers. Knights lucky to hold on to the ball here. It kind of seems they're working away from what they were doing, what was giving them success early on. Sometimes it's hard when you get an early lead. As Sullivan takes it around the cage, and a shot. Ando saw that one the whole way, though.
Yeah, and they were relying heavily on transition opportunities, which relies on mistakes of your opponent and getting face-off wins and so on and so forth. But when you're not scoring, your opponent's not scoring that much, there's not many face-off wins, and there's not many turnovers being forced right now, so not a lot of...
Yeah, Merwin gets a step, and Ando with another save. And he's really heating up.
Again, I start talking, and the big transition opportunity about what I was talking, there's not many transition opportunities anymore.
Yeah, maybe you should be calling the play-by-play here. Give the Knights more opportunities. As a good ride gives the ball right back to the Knights. As Merwin carries it over midfield, no one yet to pick him up. And he moves it along to Knorr. Knorr, a former member of that midfield line last year of the conference winning champion, the conference championship winning team. One of the players that I know Jason Lamb likes to lean on here.
Absolutely. I mean, he already has 3 goals today through the first half. Him and Gabe King accounting for 6 of the 7 goals. So those two are tag teaming it well.
As Hackey carries the ball down the alley, and he takes a shot, and that's wide. And that's backed up by Thatcher with just a little over 30 seconds left in the shot clock. Thatcher dodging against the short stick, and he moves it inside, and we're going to get a shot from Knorr that just sails wide. A lot of opportunities here, just unable to capitalize. Now here's a name we haven't really seen so far this game. Is number 3. Oh. Yeah, number 12, Yando. As we get a turnover, and the Pacers moving well, and he takes a shot, but Michael Brown able to intercept that one before it makes it to the cage. And another turnover for the Knights. Millington unable to handle that pass. And they move it along. Knights still unsettled here. And the Pacers unable to capitalize on that opportunity there.
Yeah, you can tell the Pacers defense really focusing in, not letting the Knights getting any easy opportunities, not letting them get clears easily anymore. Pacers defense has definitely picked up since the end of the first period.
And excuse me, that wasn't Yanda, that was number 13, River Jackson, a name we haven't really seen or called out this much this season so far, the freshman out of Utah. And another shot buried by the Pacers, just absolutely burned Royland's low. Good ball movement there, and the Pacers slowly eking their way back in this game.
Absolutely, they're not. You normally think it's a game of runs. It hasn't been today. The SVU went on the one run, and it's just slowly been a slow creep back from the Pacers. That was Devin Noonan, number 21, on the goal for the Pacers.
Yeah, just good ball movement there, and the Knights getting a couple stops and just unable to clear the ball. You almost get the feeling they're getting a little lackadaisical with this huge lead, and we're going to get a faceoff violation from Arnold the first of the half.
And here's where you really start to feel the momentum shift. A goal followed by a faceoff win, a rare faceoff win for the Pacers, is a very good opportunity for them to start establishing their presence in this game.
Yeah, absolutely here. We're going to get a feed inside, and that's not quite going to hit its mark. And that'll be a turnover for the Pacers. Knights ball. Michael Brown will carry it in. And he moves it up over to Thatcher. Not a whole lot going for the Knights after that first 5 run. Not a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they've went away from what was causing them to be successful early on in this game. But when you have limited subs, it is hard to press early offense because, you risk turnovers and you risk things that, burn gas. And if you don't have a lot of gas to burn, then it makes it a lot harder.
Absolutely. And it's also been the Pacers defense focusing in and limiting their opportunities that they were getting early in the first period. So it's been a combination of both teams, the Knights moving away from what they did well, but also the Pacers focusing in on removing that option.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't take away that Ando's really, standing on his head right now. He's a brick wall right now.
Absolutely.
You got to find a way to break that up. As Thatcher and Hackey work behind the cage. And Thatcher falls down, but and he moves on to King with 4 seconds left in the shot clock, and he's going to feed it inside. Oh, and a buzzer just beating the shot clock is Sullivan. Great feed inside and great awareness of King to not just shoot the ball, but able to find the one more, and Sullivan wide open, able to bury that one with it. I think, less than 1 second left on the shot clock.
Yeah, there was no time. And that's a little bit of redemption there for Sullivan after the missed shot he had earlier right in close. So that's a good redemption for him.
Absolutely. Big face-off here for Arnold. Good opportunity for the Knights here to really put this game away before the half ends, and he wins that one clean.
And that is Gabe King's 5th point, 3 goals and 2 assists there. So Gabe King having himself a day.
That's right. And he's one that was huge last year. One of the best rookies in the whole USA South Conference, and he's one that you would rely on being the backbone for this team for the next 3 years,
Absolutely.
And it's good to see him getting going.
There's also to be said about Gabe King having his down year so far this year is that it's much easier to be a 3 option sometimes as opposed to a 1 option.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
And as we've seen people like Eric Knorr, Zach Sullivan, Sterling Thatcher start to take more of the scoring load, we've seen Gabe King get better throughout the season. So he really fulfills that role of a ball handler, of a passer, and as a spot scorer, not as the number 1 guy for a team.
Yeah, absolutely. And, sometimes it's a little humbling when you be like, okay, hey, maybe I'm not the goal scorer, but if I can be the assist guy, in my opinion, I always liked the term hockey assist, because in hockey, 2 passes gives you an assist. In lacrosse, it doesn't, but it's kind of like the unsung stat of the game. If you can get hockey assists where you create the opportunity, that always is huge for me. And we're going to get 2 flags down here for the Knights as we get a step here for the Pacers. And just fighting to stay in this game. And we're going to get a shot, and Royland saw that one all the way. And the possession from the Knights will activate the penalty. And we'll see what we got here.
This could be a very good opportunity for William Peace and a very bad opportunity for the Knights.
Looking like it's going to be 2-man down here. So far they got 45 for the Knights. Isaac Finley. And number 13. So yeah, we're going to get a two-man down here.
And while the Knights have been very good in situations like these, it's obviously not a position you ever want to be in, and they do eventually crack. They can go 1-8 on man-down possessions, but they're still that's that one goal right there that really didn't help them right there.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the hardest positions to be in as a defense. So you're playing 2-man down is really the Pacers just have to move the ball fast because you're always going to have people open. And good pressure there from Brown, but Pacers able to beat it, and he's going to get a step in and one more pass and a diving shot, but Roylands ate that one alive. Oh my gosh, that was a great save. Good ball movement. That was good all the way around. That was just awesome lacrosse, and Roylands playing huge right now.
And that's what you don't want to see as an offensive coach right there is when you have 2 men up, you don't want to see someone just taking the goalie one-on-one. You want to see passing and getting a good shot instead of just a shot from 20 yards away.
That second shot was not the shot I would have drawn up as a coach, but the first shot
that was perfect.
That was outstanding. That was just perfect from both sides. And Royland's just getting the better of that one. Sophomore really playing big right now. Not looking like a sophomore. Little less than 30 seconds left, or a little more than 30 seconds left in the half. Knights looking to maybe hold on to the ball for one more opportunity here. As Thatcher carries across the midfield, and he shoots and stings the corner, absolutely stings the corner.
That was just an amazing play. It wasn't exactly like the dream offensive possession you'd have, but he had a great shot.
Yeah,
Nothing more to really say there. Great shot.
Really, yeah, absolutely. You don't draw that up, but Thatcher making a great play and really, taking advantage of the turnover there and the mismatch of him usually dodging against long sticks. He had the short stick there and able to get to his left hand, the natural lefty, just absolutely stinging that off stick high corner. And Arnold smoking the face-off here, and he's going to get a look. And he shoots it. Oh, and Ando all over that one. Good opportunity there for Arnold, who seems desperate to get a goal this game.
Yeah, I gotta love the enthusiasm from Arnold to get his shots in. But
5 seconds left. And the Pacers unable to do anything with it, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half with your Southern Virginia University Knights leading the Pacers 9-3. Great first half. A little slower second quarter than the first quarter.
not a whole lot going on after the Knights went on that early run, but, both goalkeepers on both sides just playing outstanding right now. With Royland's getting the edge here a little bit, and face-offs, who hasn't been a huge struggle this season, but not as good as Arnold's had in the past.
Yeah, because they've had games where Arnold absolutely dominates, and there's been games where Arnold really struggles.
Yeah.
Which is they've won 52% of their face-offs so far this season, but Arnold's had better games. Arnold's never just had 52%. It's either 70% in a game or 30.
Yeah.
So it has been a struggle, and he's done very well so far this game.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get a little break here. We're going to take a little break, but I, look forward to coming back here with some second half action. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with you.
All right, welcome back for this little second half action for the Southern Virginia Knights, where they lead 9-3 against the William Peace University Pacers. And a huge first half, starting out early and strong for the Knights, and not a whole lot of action since the first 5 minutes of the quarter. Both goalkeepers standing real strong, and exciting to see what's going on for the rest of this game as we get a face-off violation to start.
Absolutely, and that's the difference between the two teams has been the opportunities. SVU has given themselves opportunities through face-offs, turnovers, and disrupting clears. William Peace has not really given themselves that many opportunities on the offensive end. But they did start to battle back, and that was a lot due to the penalties on the Knights. There's a 3-1 penalty discrepancy right there. So the Knights need to tone it down a little bit while also maintaining their offensive opportunities. And William Peace really just needs to win some face-offs, force some turnovers, get the ball.
As the ball will go out of bounds for an early unforced turnover there for the Knights.
Seemed like a really good check from Noah Belote, number 2 for the Pacers right there.
Pacers able to clear.
That was a very good clear. They've been struggling with that so far that game, so that was a very good pass right there from Daniel Ando, the goalkeeper, that got them that clear.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the 10-man ride is, if you can get the ball out early, you can really make teams pay. But, they get the clear but unable to get any offense going, and they turn the ball right over to the Knights. As the Knights looking to clear with a long stick, and they do. And a ball over to Sullivan, who steps out of bounds. A little lackadaisical there play by Sullivan.
That's 2 quick turnovers on the Knights right there to start the period.
Yeah, not what you want to see coming out of the half. And we get a feed inside, but unable to handle it are the Pacers, and they turn it over.
I don't think I've ever seen a ball go so perfectly into someone's net right there.
Right.
Went right into Colton Stanley's net.
As the Knights set up their offense. Sullivan moves it over to Hackey. Now over to Thatcher, and over to Grant. Back over to Thatcher, who will go to work here. Not liking his matchup here, so he's going to pass it over to Hackey. Not a whole lot of action towards the cage here for the Knights.
Well, it's not a lot of movement you see at the 3 attackers. It's pretty stagnant down there.
And with someone we don't really typically see on offense is JT Couture. He's typically a defensive midfielder who scores a lot in transition, but they got him working in the offensive group as Grant's pass is tipped away. And that'll be a turnover. Stout defense there by the Pacers, but met immediately by the Knights' ride. And they're able to move that one on with a little opportunity here with Thatcher and Knorr. Thatcher getting the step, and he shoots, just missing wide. Thatcher backing up his own ball.
And just a lot of turnovers so far for both teams in the second half.
Yeah, and we're going to get a flag down here from the far side ref. Saw something he didn't like, and Knights will get a free play here. As Thatcher goes to work. And he passes it to Hackey. Hackey with the step, and he shoots just wide. And that'll activate the penalty. See what we got here. And the far side ref calling the slash here. Typically you don't. Oh, maybe an interference call there, calling him for a 30-second technical. was going to say, typically you don't see the far side ref calling any penalties on balls. Must have been a interference pick or something like that. But anyways, the Knights will have 30-second extra man opportunity here as they move the ball around. Knorr carries it across top and moves it over to Merwin, and a low pass is going to be a turnover, and that should do it for the extra man opportunity. Just laziness there.
Absolutely. I believe that's SVU's 4th turnover so far in just 4 minutes.
Sometimes it's hard playing with the lead. You know, you already think you got this game won. You don't have to work as hard, and you know that's a dangerous position to be in sometimes.
Yeah. Especially when that lead isn't that big by lacrosse standards.
Yeah, no, six goals is nothing in lacrosse, especially with this much left. As the Pacers run in a bomber dodge from the substitution. And they move it along, and we're going to get a hitch step and a shot, just missing wide. Royland seemed to have had that one tracked all the way. Pacer ball. Not a whole lot of off-ball movement from the Pacers, not giving their dodging a whole lot of opportunity to open things up. But
no, both teams have been very stagnant on the offensive end. It's been quite frustrating because we've seen both teams when they are moving, playing very well. But not much movement otherwise.
Strong defense there by Millington. And they get it around X, and they're going to get a shot off here. And Royland saw that one the whole way. Outstanding save by the sophomore. Was not fooled by the fake and ate that one up low.
And right there, they pretty much lulled everyone to sleep. Like, it was very stagnant on offense, like we were saying, but then they did that little action right around the net. That was very subtle, and they didn't broadcast it very well. So it was very good offensive play for them. Royland's played very well.
Yeah, that was one of their better scoring opportunities of this game so far. Royland's seeing that one the whole way.
And another turnover for the Knights.
Yeah, so far all Pacer ball this second half. Another low pass. Maybe the added humidity from the rain last night causing some of the sticks to bag out, but Royland's with another stop. And he moves that one along.
And he is now 7 of 10 on save opportunities. Only 3 goals allowed and 7 saves. He's been playing very well.
Absolutely. And you remember that first goal really wasn't up to him. He wasn't even in the cage when they scored that one. It was off the busted clear from the Knights. But we'll get another possession here with Knorr carrying the ball behind X for the Knights. And we get a dodge from Couture, and he shoots, doesn't make it to the cage. It's a more sloppy play here the second half. It's going to give the ball right back to the Knights with a fresh shot clock.
Yeah, but credit the defense of the Pacers. They've put the ball on the ground more often than not.
Yeah, they're putting the ball on the ground as Hackey stumbles and moves it on to Sullivan. Over to Thatcher, dodging against a short stick who's had success. Met immediately by the slide. And not a whole lot there. And he moves it on to Sullivan. And Sullivan met by good defense. But he able to get a step, and he moves it to Hackey. Hackey with the shot, and Ando just eats that one up. And then Couture with an extra hustle play picks up the garbage and takes it out and able to bury that one.
Looked like an NFL wide receiver right on the sideline there.
Tiptoeing the crease, picks up the rebound from Ando's save and buries that one. And that was so frustrating for Ando because he makes the great play, and Couture just with the extra hustle play able to finish it.
Well, and even with that, it's like you wouldn't expect an offensive player to be able to even get that ball because it was so far in the restricted area. So it was like it was just stuff like that where it's like the little things that SVU is doing just slightly better.
That's right, as the Pacers win a faceoff, but immediately stripped away from the Knights defense. And they move it on to number 9, Richie Johnson. Player we're starting to see some names that we typically don't call out. Don't get a whole lot of playing time. Making some good plays for the Knights. Couture back on offense.
Well, I think Coach Lamb really sees that this team could go back to being the conference champion again next year. So he really wants to see who he has foundationally for his young guys next year.
Well, even this year, they're still they're seeded well enough to where they could get, they string together a couple wins here at the end of the season that they could, they could make a run and maybe challenge it for this year. And Sullivan takes a shot kind of off of a goofy step there, and Ando saw that one the whole way. And they're able to clear that one relatively easy there. As the Pacers offense looks to go to work here. In a double team here, Pacers still holding on to the ball, but eventually dropping it. We're going to get a push call here.
That was bound to happen eventually with how aggressive the Knights have been being this game on defense.
Absolutely. So that'll give the Pacers a fresh 60 on the shot clock as they look to go back to work here. And a good move there and a low shot, but Royland saw that one the whole way. And a good pass to Millington's going to create a transition opportunity here. He's been known to score, and he moves it to Sullivan. And Nora unable to hold on to the pass from Sullivan. And he's down, a little slow to get up.
How dominating has Royland's been so far in this game?
He's been outstanding since I commented on him last week. He's been great, really playing on his head, and that's something you want to see. Kind of a smaller guy, younger guy, really holding his own here. And in my opinion, really, he's the reason why the lead is what it is right now.
Absolutely. 8 saves and only 3 goals given up, a 73% save percentage.
We're going to get a feed inside, but it's a little too low. Pacers should be able to hold on to this one with a little bit more than 30 seconds left in the shot clock. And we're going to get another step here in the night, and Pacers shooting just wide.
And we've seen so far in this half that you've seen the Knights offense play sloppily, and the defense has been a step slow coming out of the half. So Royland's dominance there in the goal has been essential to making sure that the Knights keep this lead.
Oh, my goodness.
And right as I say that.
Yeah, well, there's not so much you can do there. That was an absolute snipe there from the Pacers. I believe that was number 7 for them. Number 7, William Murray, the sophomore midfielder.
Yeah, streak came to an end of the saves, but
there's not so much you can do. You keep shooting. It's like what Wayne Gretzky. You just keep shooting. They're bound to go in.
Absolutely, and that's been the struggle so far in this half for the Knights, is that they have not played that like they did in the first half, whether on offense or defense. It's been a struggle to get anything going on either side for the Knights.
As Arnold wins another faceoff, and he carries it behind Cage, and he's met with pressure from the long stick. And the Pacers really looking to shut off here, forcing Arnold to play some offense here. And he shoots and scores finally.
He finally got his shot there.
Yeah, he got it. Able to beat the pressure coming around the cage, and he bounces that one just around Ando's stick. And
What's your answer to your offense getting a little bit stagnant? Just Jaden Arnold's just taking the offense on his shoulders.
That's right. That's right. It's always good when you get non-offensive personnel getting involved in the game, and he's increasing the lead back to 7. Great play, great heads-up play there by Arnold, and he's feeling it, and he wins the other face-off, and he's gonna go get some break as he moves it along to Dupay.
Yeah, he's gonna go get a well-deserved drink of water right there.
As Thatcher carries it through X. And he moves it over to Hackey. And Hackey back over to Merwin, one of the more aggressive Dodgers on this Knights team so far today. Decides to pass it on to Connor Hackey. Hackey over to Sullivan, Sullivan over to Merwin. And Merwin's going to carry this one in back over to Knorr. And Knorr's going to take a shot and score that one for his 4th of the day. Outstanding ball movement there from the Knights. Knorr is able to bury that one from the pass from Merwin.
And you can see the Knights recovering from their slow start in the first 10 minutes of the half, trying to get back into it, get back to what they were doing in the first period.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's interesting is what you said about about Merwin, is that he has 6 shots on the goal today, already. So he has been very aggressive so far in this game.
Yeah, just one of the stronger Dodgers of the game so far, and sometimes that sets it up, and he was able to set up really that feed inside to Knorr, and Knorr able to capitalize on that one. Merwin, another young player for this team, just a sophomore. A lot of sophomores getting involved, in this game. And as you're looking for this program to continue to grow, that's what you need, is your underclassmen really to step up and play above their level. And Merwin, one of those guys who plays with a lot of confidence. His confidence might not quite yet match his skill set, but that's what you want to see.
Yeah, because often skill is the thing that players are missing.
Because we get a good opportunity there.
Another save.
But yeah, go on.
But yeah, normally like you see in like you see professional sports, it's normally like the talent. Like no one in the NBA is like lacking confidence or anything like that.
Oh my goodness! And the Pacers capitalize on the 10-man ride, able to beat the Royals on the empty netter.
Okay, we have determined no one likes my color commentary.
Yeah, that's right. You keep talking. We're just gonna keep seeing goals. So I'm all for. I'm all about a high-scoring game.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing, is that like with collegiate sports, you often see it's like you have a lot of talented players who are genuinely making their way through lacrosse, basketball, whatever sport. But often the confidence is lacking because you're a freshman and you're not starting on the team or something like that. And so it's really important that you have the confidence, because that's something that you often can't just get by practice.
No, and it's not a coachable thing either. As the Knights go back to work with Hackey carrying the ball against the short stick. And he thought about moving the ball along and liked his step, but met with the slide, and he turns it down. He turns it over. Outstanding play there by number 26, Thomas Newhall, the freshman long stick. As the Pacers are able to clear this one with a little bit of a step here, and the little tic-tac-toe here, and a shot and a goal scored by the Pacers. And the Pacers giving the Knights a little taste of their own medicine with the early transition play.
Absolutely. That was a great shot, too. It was a very aggressive defensive recovery right there, but he still got it to go in. It was a great shot.
And the Pacers are refusing to be out of this game.
Nope, and the Knights are shooting themselves in the foot with their turnovers. It has been pretty constant throughout this period of just turnover after turnover after turnover. 7 already in the period. Only 4 for William Peace.
Right. As we get set for another face-off here for Arnold. And he wins that one cleanly. And he moves it down over to, what was that, Richie Johnson, the former long stick, now playing short stick midfielder. They're able to hold on to that one.
Got 10 seconds left in the quarter. See if they can make something happen if they're just going to wind it down.
They get the ball over to Couture. Back over to Thatcher, but pass a little off its mark, and that'll do it for the third quarter. And, pretty even, third quarter for both teams. Turnovers, a little sloppy on offense, and, I think the, Pacers just, fighting tooth and nail to stay in this game. And
yeah, and it's you look at the stats, and it's like each scored 3 goals in that period, each had 8 shots in that period, each had 3 saves in that period. SVU won the 6-off 6-1, but obviously SVU with 7 turnovers to William Peace's 4. So, yeah, pretty even. Neither team had more opportunities than the other. Neither team made more shots than the other. Very even period, which obviously favors the Knights when you're in the lead. But you definitely don't want to see the Knights taking their foot off the brake like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep the foot on the gas and really, finish this one out. Don't play not to lose. You got to play to win.
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
which is easier said than done, especially this late into the season, where it's like you get tired after a long season. It's like you establish a lead, and you're just like, man, I just need to get through this game, man. I'm gonna go home and take a nap after this.
Yeah, finish this game. Yeah, I mean, conditioning shouldn't be an issue. You're this late into the season. Everybody should be conditioned, and you got some bumps and bruises, but that's what you get when you play a contact sport like lacrosse. And,
yeah.
We got 15 more minutes left to play, and I'm excited to see what the Pacers have to do to maybe try to come back in this game, because I've been impressed with their play so far. Starting off with their goalkeep play, with Daniel Ando. Really he's the reason why this game isn't 18-4 type of thing, and
yeah.
Same with Royal on the other side. Royalance, I think the Pacers had a decent amount of opportunities and high percentage scoring opportunities, and Royal, the sophomore, really holding his own. And
yeah, because it's not even like both goalies are just like, oh, it's 12-6, so the 12 shots that went in for the, like, it's not that they're just blocking the easy shots to save. Yeah, they're getting impressive saves. Yeah. There have been incredible saves with shots right outside the restricted area of the goal. Like, it's been incredible how great the goalie play has been for both teams.
Right. Coach Lamb hyping up his team to finish up this game. Arnold with his lid off on the sideline. Looks like we're going to get the defensive midfield freshman, Boston Shillman, taking the starting draw this fourth quarter, which might be interesting to me, with Arnold really being on a heater today.
Well, it's like we've been saying. We've been seeing a lot more players than we haven't been usually seeing so far in this game, and with Arnold's being a junior, he obviously won't be here, but Shillman's a freshman, so get him some experience, get him to be your backup face-off man.
Some sloppy play here, and the Pacers the last man to touch it. Going to give the ball to the Knights. Hackey starting with the ball. And he's not met with much pressure, so he's just going to carry that one over. As the Knights get their offensive unit on. I really like seeing Couture playing a little more offense. Guy's a baller.
Absolutely. He's not the greatest offensive player, but when he gets a step, like that's his role right there. Is like if he gets a step, if he's the one driving to the goal, like he's pretty automatic on that. And that's why he's been like a defensive midfielder is he gets those transition opportunities. So it's really cool to see the different strategies you play as if you're Coach Lamb is like, yeah, let's get that defensive transition guy on offense and see if we can get him a step to get him some goals.
So we get another dodge here from Merwin, who drops the ball. And a risky turnover here with the ball down in the middle of the cage. Sullivan able to pick that one up for the Knights. And he moves it along to Hackey. And Hackey over to Couture. Back over to Merwin. Down over to Thatcher. Knights just moving the ball around here, trying to kill as much clock as they can. As Merwin gets a step inside and he shoots and scores. Excellent dodging there.
And like you mentioned earlier with that Wayne Gretzky about keep shooting, is Merwin finally got one to go in his 7th shot. So that's what you were looking for right there. Is you had been shooting all game and you finally got one to go. Especially when your team kind of needed a goal to continue going, to just to limp to the end of this game, offensively speaking. That it's a very timely goal for him to get one.
Right. What's shooting percentage, anyways?
1 out of 7.
Yeah. No.
It's about 15%ish.
Right.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, that's good. It doesn't matter as long as you're not 0. That was always my technique. You know, you shoot 10 times, you're bound to score at least 1. Oh, and an errant pass. It's going to give the ball right back to the Knights. And another name that we don't see too often is Gannon Lyles, the freshman, starting with the ball. See Lamb really moving down there, opening up the roster.
Well, it just shows you how much he trusts his younger guys. Like, it's not a huge lead. Like, it's not like this game is won yet. But he trusts his younger guys to give them some experience and get them some playing time that they'll keep this lead and see what they can do.
Right. There's Nor liking his matchup here. But he moves it along. Over to Grant. Hackey goes to work on the side. He steps back up, but not a whole lot open there. And Couture moves it along to Thatcher. Thatcher feeds it up top to Nor, and Nor's able to score for his 5th of the game.
That has to be one of the wildest plays I've seen in lacrosse. I have yet to, that was the first time I've ever seen an assist from behind the
cage.
Behind the cage right there.
Skip passes are huge, and sometimes you catch the defense ball watching, and Nor able to get open into a shooting spot, and he was able to rip that one and bury that one low. Ando didn't really have a whole lot of chance to get that one. Arnold back on the field for the face-off. With a little more than 11 minutes left in this game. A clean clamp, but Arnold unable to pick it up, but that's scooped up there. Down over to Thatcher with the toe drag. And that's stripped away. Good play there by the Pacers.
Yeah, and the refs have allowed a lot of aggressive defense go today. It's been quite nice to watch, just the good hard-fought lacrosse.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. I've never been a huge fan of officiating, getting too involved in sports. Obviously, you want to keep the boys safe, but this is a contact sport. It's a physical sport. It's supposed to be physical. Let them play.
Yeah, so they've done a very good job. Surprisingly, we've still seen a lot of penalties, though, but with, delay of games and unsportsmanlike contact, which has been really weird.
Yeah, more technicalities, less physical. I mean, we have seen a relatively clean game. Not a whole lot of, not a whole lot of physicality, but, you definitely want to see the boys play, and I'm glad they're letting them. So they move it over to Hackey. And if you liking the content that, Mark and I are putting out here, and, just remember to give our YouTube channel and a like and subscribe, and, for all your Southern Virginia University athletics. As we are about under 10 minutes left in this game. And we're going to get a long shot from Couture. Just sails that one over the crossbar.
Thatcher almost had an opportunity right there, but slipped right before he could make it.
12 seconds left in the shot clock. We're going to get a ball with Sullivan. We're seeing a decent amount of people slipping. Maybe wondering if the rain has any effect on the rain overnight had any effect on the field. And this is a brand new field from when I played on. Hackey's just going to throw that one in the corner to let the shot clock expire. Hackey's kind of limping off. And a lazy pass inside is going to be picked up by Millington. Millington known to score in transition. Moves it on to Thatcher. Thatcher carries that one inside, but met by the double team, and that one was stripped away. Great defensive there by the Pacers. And we'll get the first look at the Pacer offense that we've seen in a while. And we're going to get a whistle. Looks like an offsides offsides violation is going to give the ball right back to the Knights, and Couture carries it down, moves it along. Down to the attackman. Ball with Knorr right now.
And just play has gotten progressively sloppier as the game has gone on for both teams.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes, both teams don't typically have large rosters. And especially with the Knights, maybe going through with some younger guys that typically don't have a whole lot of game experience in the collegiate level. Nerves can sometimes get to you. And then, the Pacers really not the largest roster. And lacrosse is a very endurance-ridden sport, so definitely seeing some fatigue set in. As Knorr takes another shot looking for his 6th. Sells it over the crossbar. A little more than 30 seconds left in the shot clock. A good possession and a goal here should just about put this game away for the Knights.
It's getting to that point.
As Couture gets a step, Sullivan gets a step and he shoots that one. Missing wide. 11 seconds left in the shot clock, and not getting a goal here is not the biggest deal, but you're killing some clock, and that's a shot that'll reset the shot clock. But Couture backing up his own shot there, giving the Knights a fresh 60 with more time to kill. And another shot from Knorr, who seems to really be favoring his right leg. And a feed up top. Maybe thought it was a shot, didn't. But a good long offensive possession, able to kill a minute and a half.
Absolutely. You saw the Knights really starting to get aggressive there and taking their shots. They were wanting to get as many shots in there as possible.
As the Pacers look to set up their clear. And we're going to get another flag down here for the Knights. Didn't quite catch what was going on, but I think it was an offsides. Yep, the Knights are going to get called with another offsides penalty. And that shot will activate it. We'll get another look at the Pacers extra man unit.
And this is kind of your last-ditch attempt. Like, this is, if you're going to fight your way back into this game, you take advantage of this penalty right here, right now.
Yeah, if you don't score this possession, game's over. game's all, pretty much over, I guess. I can't say that it's over. There's still a decent amount of time left, but
It ain't over till it's over.
that's
But
right. But
sometimes the game trends a certain way.
Pretty decent lead that the Knights have here.
But it's certainly not safe. Like we said, like a goal here off the penalty could be extremely tide turning, and could immediately launch the Pacers into a quick quick run.
That's right. But a quick feed inside, missing its mark, is going to give the Knights the ball. And that should do it for the penalty. Royland's met with some pressure, able to move it along to Millington, who can't handle the pass. And that's going to give the Pacers another opportunity on this man up with not a whole lot of time left. They were looking for a quick whistle, but a timeout called. Good timeout call for Coach Jason Lamb there.
Yeah, get your team focused in, get them to just get a couple more good defensive possessions, maybe force some turnovers, something like that, because they're struggling right now with their ball security and just need to keep the ball out of the hands of the Pacers.
That's right.
Yeah, just a really sloppy second half for the Knights. They already have 12 turnovers with 6.5 minutes left to go in the half. As it has been a very sloppy, feet off the gas type of half for the Knights.
Yeah, it's not what not typically what you want to see. I do like seeing some new guys that we don't typically see out there on the field getting a little playing time. Building your program going further. As you get later in season, you run risk of injuries and bumps and bruises and typical scenarios like that. But like you said, it's too many turnovers. Finish the game. This is a team that, you're probably you're probably better than. You're better than, and
well, you've shown that through this game.
You've shown that you're better than, but you got to finish because when you come into conference tournament time, if you want a chance of making NCAAs and running back, your second USA South Conference championship, you got to tighten up these mistakes. You can't be making mistakes against good teams because good team, as we saw against, as they played against Pfeiffer was able to, capitalize on some of the mistakes that maybe, the Pacers are unable to capitalize on in this game. So you got to, especially when you have a lead like you have right now and you're late in the game, you got to think of this as more so of a practice. As Brown gets the turnover here, and he carries it down, and he's known to score here. And he went a little too deep there, and they're able to cause the turnover, and Ando's able to pick that one up to move it along. And the Pacers getting another opportunity on defense with attackman Sterling Thatcher stuck down there. And another lazy feed. It's going to give the ball right back to the Knights.
It's just a pretty much constant back and forth in this period. Neither team is getting many opportunities at the goal.
Right. And we're going to get a whistle. And they're going to give it back. Another offsides violation. These are just mistakes you can't be making.
Absolutely.
Good ball movement there by the Pacers. As we're creeping down to 5 minutes left in this game. And a good step there, but not a whole lot after the dodge. And a low pass handled by the Pacers. And a feed from behind. And he shoots and misses just wide. Another good opportunity there.
Looked like it might have bounced off Royland's net. Another good save for him.
Yeah, I think Royland's got a piece of that one. And that'll give the Pacers a fresh 60 seconds. As they move it along. And another shot well wide of its mark. Pacers kind of reaching desperation mode here with
under 5 minutes of play left and down by 8.
Yeah, but they're playing it very well. They're getting good shots. They're getting good ball movement, so on and so forth. They're trying different things with the offense, trying to confuse the defense. So a good desperation plays that they're doing. They're just not getting the ball in the net.
And a good shot there, but it's going to sell well high. Backed up by the Pacers.
The shot clock's not running.
Yeah, it seems to be a little technical difficulty, but no one noticing it. Doesn't matter. A turnover from the Pacers going to give the Knights the ball, and Knights will get a full 80.
See, that play was very lucky for the shot clock operator right there.
Yeah, right. Save you from a little embarrassment, but doesn't hurt anybody with less than 4 minutes left in the game, and the Knights go to work. Looking to close this one out. Huge playoff implications as it comes down to the conference tournament with a win here.
Absolutely. They'll if they just stick to it the last 3.5 minutes, they'll go up to 5-1 in conference play, which has been huge for them getting back into the playoff contention.
Putting them right behind Pfeiffer, I believe, right?
Let's see.
As Merwin moves the ball. And he stumbles down as he's able to get a step, and he's going to get inside, and a good feed over to Thatcher. Thatcher unable to handle it. He's going to put the ball right back on the ground, and Ando will set up the clear. And an errant pass from Ando is going to put the ball on the ground with an empty net. And that's number 2, Gannon Lyles, the freshman. And he scores his first goal, I believe, of the season. Making Ando pay for carrying that one out.
Yeah, I think he was the one who forced that turnover as well.
Yeah. And he's hyped about that one. Just a great hustle play from the freshman to just about put this game away. As Shillman loses the faceoff here, giving the Pacers the ball with a little under 2.5 minutes left, and we're going to get a whistle for a timeout here for the Pacers. Be about a Hail Mary here for the Pacers to come back in this game. And
yeah, so looking at the standings here is you have Pfeiffer, who's 12-0 on the season. Goodness gracious. But 4-0 in conference play. And then you have SVU is at 4-1. Piedmont is also at 4-0 on the season in conference play as well.
Yeah, so yeah, just coming down to the wire. These games extra important, and really trying to fine-tune everything before you get into conference play, because there's a good chance you'll be playing one of those teams, Pfeiffer or Piedmont, leading.
Yeah. So I am unfamiliar with the NCAA, how they do their tournaments. Do you get qualified for them based on conference play or overall record?
So just like any other sport, they take a couple things into factor, right? So one, conference champions get an automatic bid to the playoffs. So, but then you take, then you got teams they'll take record-wise, but they also factor in strength of schedule, right? So you can have a team that goes completely undefeated, but they didn't really play anybody, right?
So when you say conference champions, does that mean SVU because they won conference champions gets an automatic bid?
Yep. So like last year, they made their first appearance ever in program history to the NCAA national tournament, and unfortunately were bounced in the first round. But by some good teams. Like, for example, that when I was a player, we played for the Capital Athletics Conference, the CAC. And my senior year, we had 3 teams in our conference make the NCAA tournament. With Salisbury, Christopher Newport, who the Knights will play coming up relatively soon, who's the number 2 team in the country. And York, all 3 made the tournament, and they were in our conference. Salisbury, I believe, won the national tournament or the conference championship, but ended up not winning the nationals. But yeah, so that's how it goes. So it's strength of schedule, record, or a conference championship. So I believe it's 16 teams that make it out of the country.
Understood. Yeah, we got Christopher Newport on Wednesday. That'll be an away game, so we'll see how SVU does that.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one. they are as good as that program has ever been, and they have just been constant growth. And we always struggled playing against them, but great ball movement there, giving the Pacers an excellent opportunity, and Royland's just denying him the pride goal there.
That was 2 saves for Royland right there.
Yeah.
Very impressive play right there, Royland. Sorry.
We are now under a minute left in the final period of this game. And that early lead, given the night, putting this game away. You can't discredit the Pacer play as they get another good opportunity there, and we're going to get a loose ball push from Royland's aggressive play from the goalkeeper. But I was impressed with the Pacers' effort. When I started here, when Coach Lamb, first started here, we had a team similar size, maybe even a little smaller, the roster that the Pacers have, as they score right there, and they're fighting hard to stay in this game. And
that was number 9, Brewer Warlick. But yeah, as you said, like the SVU Knights came out blazing in the first period, but ever since then the defense has really kind of stiffened up, and the Knights have really not gotten much throughout the rest of this game. It's been rather a slog for both teams to score since that first period.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they were on track to score over 20 this game early in that first, and taking the foot off the gas, or maybe trying to get some other guys some experience. So this is a good solid win as we're starting to wrap up this season, and like you said, going against Christopher Newport on Wednesday, and that's going to be a whole beast of them of itself. And that should just about do it, as we have 3 seconds left in this game, and they're just going to hold on to that one and wrap this one up with your Southern Virginia University Knights 15 to the Pacers of William Peace University 7. Great game. They got a lot to improve upon if they're going to try to compete on Wednesday for sure.
Absolutely.
But it's good all around, and good getting some guys in. Roylance, I believe, getting his first start of the season and playing fantastic. And the Pacers, I admire teams with smaller rosters really working hard the whole game. You never saw them out of it. Yeah, the score probably was a little insurmountable later in this game, but they never gave up, and they had some good opportunities. And the freshman goalkeeper, or I guess sophomore, Daniel Ando, he's probably going to be a high point for that organization as they move forward as well. So
absolutely, and even further, like you had Eric Knorr really have a really good game for the Knights. You want to definitely. Because Eric Knorr, he had 5 goals on the game. Great job for him, which allowed Gabe King to really start to get involved as well. Like we talked about earlier, how Gabe King is more a number 2 option as opposed to number 1. When you have someone like Eric Knorr who can take advantage of it, or you have someone like Peyton Murin who maybe gets hot, or Zach Sullivan, it's good to see Eric Knorr in a game like this start to get hot, which allows Gabe King to get hot and allows everyone to play better in that. And it was concentrated in that first period, but you just see that is like when someone's really carrying it like that, like Eric Knorr did this game, the Knights are way better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been it was a fun fun afternoon to be with you guys, and we look forward to next time when we're with you. Again, tune into Christopher Newport's athletic page if you want to catch the game on Wednesday. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one. That's a great team, and a huge challenge for the Knights. But again, I'm Ryan Larson. Joined with me is Mark Duffin, and we'll look forward to you next time. Thank you.